Well, it is time to check in with Niagara Falls Mayor Jim Diodati to see how the city is doing. Good morning, good to see you.
Good to see you too, Bobby.
Happy Tuesday.
Well, palindrome, ambigram. So
Yeah.
the date today, you can read it both ways and upside down. It's one of those few times that doesn't matter if you're backwards, sideways, or upside down, it's the same.
2/2/2, 2022. Yeah. And Family Day yesterday, you and I were both working, but looks like you had more fun.
Yeah, you know what, Bob? I had a good time. I was racing the local kids down the hill. I had my toboggan, and I had old school wax, and they had new school nanotechnology, and looks like new school beat old school all day long. So it was great. Tim Horton supplied us with hot chocolate. Our staff and our volunteers with the recreation committee were helping the kids make s'mores. Perfect day. It was awesome for going tobogganing that day and skating.
Yeah. That looks like a ton of fun. And yeah, a lot of free events. Now, Ontario's tax credit, so what is it? It's 20% of accommodation expenses for vacations, promoting staycations in the province. So many hotspots will benefit, but none more so than Niagara Falls. So put on your tour guide cap, and what should people be checking out this year?
So here's my ShamWow commercial. So yeah, come on down to Niagara Falls. And yeah, so you get 20% back on accommodations all this year, anywhere you stay in Ontario, up to $1,000 per person or $2,000 for a family. You'll get back on your income taxes. So it's a good incentive to get people, out visiting and doing the staycation, as you say.
Yeah. Now, capacity limits, of course, are full capacity now. It's many spots. What about the capacity of staff? I know there's been employment shortages in hospitality. Is that picking up?
Yeah, it's getting better, but you're right, Bob. The great resignation, as they call it, a lot of people have made the decision to leave the hospitality sector, which is tough. Places like Niagara Falls, where we count on 40,000 people in hospitality and tourism. So it's really important. But a lot of people, they couldn't handle the instability of the shifts and the closing and the opening and the back and forth. And it's been hard, but we're encouraging them to come back. And I think a lot of the people do miss the interaction with people here in Niagara Falls. As you know, we roll out the red carpet. We're the #1 leisure destination in Canada. And a lot of people, they come here for fun. So they show up with smiles, and we like that.
Yeah. We don't like all the snow we've been getting. Of course, with the temperatures this week, we got a fast melt and maybe some flooding concerns for Niagara Falls. But I know the city has a survey right now about snow clearing. Tell us about that.
Yeah, thanks, Bob. Well, in Niagara Falls, we don't have a sidewalk shoveling bylaw like you do in Hamilton or St. Catharines and some other areas. In Niagara Falls, we plow about a third of all the city sidewalks. And right now, there's a report coming to City Council, and we're asking for the public to weigh in. Just go to the city's website at niagarafalls.ca and let us know your feeling. Do you want a bylaw where you have to shovel the sidewalk, or do you prefer the way it is now, where it's kind of right now a neighborly kind of gesture where you go out and snowblow or shovel your neighbor's sidewalks? Because I've heard both sides of the issue, and I understand both sides, but we're asking the people to weigh in on it and what direction they want us to take the city for sidewalk clearing.
Okay, where are we at with the Vision Zero safety program? Grimsby has pulled out, so at the regional level, where do we go from here?
Well, that's a good question. So, yeah, we're looking to implement, and I know similar to Hamilton and other areas, red light cameras and automated speed enforcement. So this is cameras basically to catch people running red lights or speeding. And it's a combination of obviously safety, #1, and shared revenues, #2. So all of the 11 of the 12 municipalities in the region have endorsed it. Grimsby hasn't as of yet, and we're hoping that they do and that we could collectively bring this plan out. And it's just a good way to, be mindful of people, slow down just because there isn't a police officer there. Just try to be respectful. There's kids and there's people walking their pets, and we just want to make sure everybody's safe.
Yeah. Just a minute left, but let's talk about the memorial that's set for, I believe it's a Fairview, the Korean War Monument. Where is that at?
Bob, 1950 to 53, the Korean conflict, approximately 27,000 Canadians fought. And what we did, we have an agreement with the Korean Veterans Association where we're going to put this beautiful monument, and it'll be near the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier at the Fairview Cemetery here in Niagara Falls. or anyone that wants to come and visit. And, it's kind of sad at our Remembrance Day ceremony, you'd recognize the Korean vets. They had the green blazers, and you see less and less of them every year because it's been over 70 years. But they're a proud group of people, and we're glad that we're able to commemorate their sacrifices at the Fairview Cemetery.
Okay, absolutely. Before we go, the falls last week was looking like the picture behind you. They weren't moving a whole lot, frozen. I guess they're moving now with the temperatures.
It's funny. People love the falls, whether they're moving, whether they're frozen, when we got lights on them. People are drawn to the falls. And yeah, and it's crazy. A few years ago, we had someone climb the frozen falls. It was a Red Bull kind of situation and unbelievable, but they are gorgeous. When you go down
That would take a lot of Red Bull.
It would. And Bob, when you go down and you see, and the mist, when it freezes and crystallizes on all the trees, on all the furniture, the buildings, the falls, it's spectacular. I tell people, you got to come down and see all the faces of the falls, including the winter. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Okay, think a little springish with Brian's temperatures coming up here. But hey, great to see you, Niagara Falls Mayor Jim Diodati. We'll chat again next week.
I hope so, Bob. And one day, I want to throw it out there. Maybe one day, let's switch jobs. Maybe you come be mayor for the day, and I'll do a little bit of hosting.
That would be the worst possible thing. That would be the worst possible thing to happen in Niagara Falls, Ontario.
I think you could do a great job of being mayor.
You'd be great here, that's for sure.
All right.
See you next week.